Peace. What's good? You know I'm all messed up already. I'm sorry. I'll get to it in just a minute, but I'm getting ready to talk about this Pistons team being swept. That's my team that I rock with, and had to jump on and kind of discuss a few things before I laid it down for the night. Let me make sure everything is a go. Yeah, everything is rocking. Here we go. Okay, I'm just getting set up real quick. Everything. Don't plan on being on here too long. What is this, like the first sweep of the NBA, the NBA playoffs? Just wanted to make sure my chat was working in case anybody. I know there's millions of Pistons fans out there, so I know that a few thousand people are gonna fall in here to watch me or listen to me break down this game for this disappointing loss at home to bow out of the. You see, I'm cooking a little bit better now. I had to get some housekeeping squared away. Please do subscribe to the channel, the Pay Me No Mind channel. Please hit that like button if you listen to this after the fact or if you fall in during the actual live stream. I don't plan on being on here too long. Just disappointed, man. I tried not to use my platform for some Homer stuff, but I am pretty honest with what's going on. I do try to keep some objectivity to it, but it was a tough matchup going into this thing against the best team in the East, one of the top, 2 or 3 teams in the entire NBA. Finishing the season 41-41, 26-15 at home. I don't really want to dig into the situation regarding whether or not we should have tanked this year versus whether there's any point or any benefit to the team making it into the playoffs and getting beat 4-0. I do believe tonight tied the NBA's record for the most consecutive playoff losses by a team. We either tied it or we just set the record, which is very disheartening, very discouraging. And, I'm going to be consistent. I will put it out there that throughout the course of the year, I was for tanking from the beginning of the season. But then we started out hot, right? But let's look at the game real quick. And I do apologize. I was watching it tip to final buzzer, but I called in to a buddy's boxing podcast once the game was kind of decided. So I don't know how we ended up losing by 20. I was watching it, but I had the audio off and I wasn't really taking notes anymore. But I think the game was pretty much decided by the end of the third quarter. There was a 10-0 run in there. Maybe around the 3.5 minute mark, 4 minute mark, that pretty much decided the entire game. Basically, man, if I had to sum this thing up, I mean, it was promising. Reggie Jackson with 20 at the half. He capped off the sensational half with the putback dunk at the rebound dunk. Well, I said putback dunk at the buzzer. An exciting moment for him, but the team never really retains or maintains its energy level. We were in foul trouble early, all night long. Loose balls did not go our way, unforced errors, and then poor shot taking by everybody inside the paint. Really hard to blame some of that on, Blake Griffin in his particular situation. He's out there on a bad leg. I didn't even know the dude was going to play. I thought he was done for the entire series was the reality of it. But then to see him pop up in the third game and in the fourth game, especially, I gotta salute. And I'm trying to avoid the tanking this argument, but the dude put in an MVP caliber first half of the season. Down the stretch, the injuries set in. He missed some games, was in and out of the lineup, or they were resting him, trying to weigh, whether are we making the playoffs? Are we not? Do we need to try to get him some downtime so that if we do make the playoffs, he can play? But then we went into that stretch where we almost missed the playoffs, and then you're too far along the line to really improve your draft situation or your draft slot, so you might as well make it. But all in all, that man has come to the team and really exceeded any expectations that I could have or begin to have. So I really have to salute Blake Griffin. Came in the other night? Came in and got 27 points. Tonight, 22 points. The man's falling on the ground. He's going to the hole. Obviously, he didn't have his lift. He doesn't have his old lift anyway. But still was able to get a big dunk, I want to say, in that third corner where he hit the ground. Didn't get the call. That seemed like a big thing throughout the course of the night. I think there was a pretty big differential in the personal fouls. Thought I was able to see a total. 31-21. Do we have 31 fouls? Damn. 31 team fouls to 21 for a home game. That's part of the problem with not having many elite players. But looking at it, big night from Antetokounmpo from the Greek Freak, 41 points. Middleton, 18 points. Greek Freak, and all of these guys, they shot 54% from the field. 75% from the free throw line. A well-distributed game in terms of scoring. And that's been consistent for the series. They've had three or four guys in double digits. A couple games ago, they had three guys that all had over 23 points, I want to say. So, but obviously, Antetokounmpo on 12 of 23. Even 2 of 6 from three-point range. This is the thing that somebody like Thon Maker, and I'll get into this discussion in a minute, but he goes 15 of 20 from the free throw line. And I'm bringing out Thon Maker because I was reading an article. I happened to go to a physical therapy session today, and they had an ESPN magazine in there, and I read that I read a little passage where it said that KD led the league with 209 long 2-point baskets. He made 209, which was the best in the league. And then he shot 53% in doing that, which was also the best in the league. And it was an article saying that the long 2-pointer has disappeared over the course of the last 5 to 10 years. It's pretty much, it went from being like 2,000 shots per season to now it was down to like only being 350 or something shots or 500 shots per season across the league. Like the thinking or the philosophy is, if you're going to take a long 2, you might as well step back and take the 3. And another piece of that is that another key point to consider with this is that while most teams, that trend is continuing where they don't shoot or they don't take long 2-pointers, the Golden State Warriors, who are one of the top 2 teams in the league, they're one of the teams that are going against the grain and taking and making more long 2-pointers. And my problem with a guy like Thon Maker is, who went 0 for 3 tonight from 3. Let me make sure I was right on that. Yeah, 0 for 3 from the 3-point line, 2 of 6 from the field. Why aren't you looking at a guy like why aren't you looking at a guy like KD and emulating something like him, taking and making and shooting over, 6'6" guys, shooting over 6'7" guys, but taking a high percentage shot And yeah, maybe you're not knocking down, maybe you're not making the hero ball shot, but you're taking a high percentage shot and making it. And he has horrible misses. And he was part of a key sequence, in my opinion, late in the third quarter. Luke Kennard came down. This was in the middle of that 10-0 run. But Luke Kennard came down, got D'd up, got in trouble, panicked a little bit, passed the ball to Maker. It was a bad sequence because Maker was kind of getting ready to head to the rim, it looks like, for a rebound. And as he was in stride for that, Kennard throws him the ball. He catches it in a bad situation at the free throw line. Two guys within a foot of each other, so it's crowded. Kennard leaks out, heads out to the arc, and then Maker squares up to the bucket, maybe throws a weak head fake or a shot fake, and then instead of going ahead and shooting the free throw shot, which he was 2 of 3 from the free throw line tonight, but he takes 2 or 3 dribbles back behind the arc and shoots a horrible 3-pointer that was a brick. And this was after Connaughton had gotten the steal and the dunk on the inbound. Well, he stole the ball from Kennard and got the steal and the dunk. And this really started the situation to where where the score got out of control. But again, why didn't he just shoot the free throw jumper and take a better shot instead of stepping back and taking a shot that he had no chance of hitting? And that's another thing. Where is the intelligence on the team? Where is the intelligent basketball play? Like, why would a guy like Thon Maker, let me check this, make sure real quick. Where's my Kennard? Okay, so he's 1 for 3. Kennard was 1 for 3 on the night from behind the arc, and Thon Maker is 0 for 3. 15 minutes. Kennard played 32 minutes. Why the hell why does he only have 3 3-pointer attempts? But if you're Thon Maker, when you stepped out for that 3-point shot, why didn't you look to get the ball back to a guy in Kennard who's a better shooter, and we need a bigger game from him? So why does a guy like him not work to get the ball into the better players, or the players that do specific things better than him? Maker acts like he's actually going to take over the game and be the difference maker. The pun intended, the difference maker, instead of just challenging shots, rebounding, playing solid defense. But you sitting here as part of the main 2 guys in Drummond and him, and we let a guy get 41 points in Antetokounmpo and go 15 and 20 from the free throw line. All in all, though, not really a horrible game. I mean, they did have 104 points. I don't know, the league average now might even be up around 110 or something, as often as we see teams at the 70-point mark at halftime and everything. But just Galloway, that's what I'm saying. Galloway it went for 10 tonight. E. Smith, a down night for him, only 2 points and only 1 assist. He took a couple of terrible floaters, that weren't good shots. He got blocked, had a big block that Antetokounmpo got him on the in transition and had a big block. Who else? Like I said, an efficient game from Reggie Jackson. 9 of 20, 5 of 9 from 3-point, for a total of 26 points. He had 7 assists. The one thing that I don't like when the offense runs through Blake Griffin so much. But maybe, the guy's out there on one leg. You don't really want the team to play faster than him. You want him to have a shot a chance to factor in on the offensive end of the court. So maybe the best way for him to be featured in the offense is for the ball to run through him. But it's such a slow pace. And then he's not a quick shot taker. You know what I'm saying? And then he doesn't have the handles and everything to get the space or to get around guys. He's out there on one leg or one and a half leg. So it wasn't like he was going to get a lot of layups. It wasn't like he could move without the ball and everything. So, but again, he comes in, he gets his 22 points, 8 of 15 from the field, 2 of 2 from the free throw line. Again, nobody's even attempted more than three. Nobody even attempted more than 3 free throws. So we're a jump shooting team. Again, Drummond, very lackadaisical on defense. Always out of position. 0 blocks. Nobody on the team. Kennard had a block. 0 blocks in an elimination game. How does that happen? 0 blocks. He did go 7 of 16 from the field, but again, he missed a lot of easy layups that he didn't even take a good shot. He didn't even get a good shot. He didn't get a good aggressive shot. Didn't draw contact, only shooting, 3 free throws. 6 offensive rebounds. But Drummond he just got to do better, man. He just got to do better. 15 points, though. Like I said, not horrible. Ellington had a negative 24 on his plus minus, 5 points. 1 of 3 from 3-point, 2 of 6 from the field, 29 minutes. He's had better games. This Bruce, is it Bruce Brown? I'm not a fan of him. I'm not even going to lie, man. I'm not a fan of that cat at all, man. I'm really not. 1 of 5 from the field, 2 points. He did get 5 rebounds. He had 5 fouls. Drummond had 5 fouls. Blake Griffin fouled out. Thon Maker had 5 fouls. Galloway had 3. Kennard had 3. Galloway was a negative 22 in his plus minus. Kennard negative 18. Not a great game, but not a good game. Not a great team effort in an elimination game, if we're being honest. Unfortunate, man. Unfortunate. Griffin does a lot of good, man, in terms of, like I said, he had a phenomenal first half of the season. Was doing, MVP caliber play. But the reality is of the situation, Reggie Jackson started feeling healthier late in the second half or middle of the second half of the season. Had some promising games. But again, man, we can't attract any free agents. We will be in none of the discussions, for any of the difference making free agents that are available. 0 of them will be taking a look at Detroit and looking to come there and thinking that this team is a player a piece or two away, or they could be the difference to put us over the top. We're basically in this holding pattern, waiting for these contracts to expire. Then we'll have to make a decision. A guy like Drummond, who is as up and down as can be, you got to pay a guy like him 20-something, almost $30 million. Again, just doesn't defend the rim. I saw him shooting 3-pointers in the offseason, saw videos of him working on his 3. It doesn't look like that's something that he's added to the game. He's terrible inside unless it's a wide open dunk. He just doesn't have a lot of touch. Pretty frustrating guy at times. But he's a double-double machine. But the biggest thing is, man, we don't have Reggie Jackson is not a guy that's gonna get you 35. Even though he had 20 at halftime, and you're like, can he continue it in the second half? You need that. It's a reason why Dame Dillard is out there doing what he's doing, and they're up 3-1. It's a reason why you can get explosions from, explosive nights from Klay Thompson, definitely from Steph Curry, some of the different guards across the league. We don't have great, exceptional point guard play that can go up, can raise it up, a level or two that's needed in the postseason. Obviously, there's nobody, like James Harden that impacts the game, from the guard position. And then we don't have a talented wing player, athletic wing player, who can get up and down the court and run like an Antetokounmpo, but maybe at 6'7" to 6'9" or something. We don't have guys. The rebounding effort was just non-existent in my opinion. Let's see. 36 rebounds, 36 to 54. Right there. 36 to 54 in rebounds. Like I said, this game 4 elimination game, when you're about to be swept at home, it all comes down to effort and effort and grit and competing. And for you to get beat 54 to 36 at home on an elimination game, how the hell can you win the game without getting the ball? So, it is what it is. Again, I was an advocate with all the talent that's projected to be in this draft. I was an advocate to just lose, and not. I don't know why there's this negative connotation with tanking. I'm just saying, play somebody like Luke Kennard. Play him extra minutes. Let him shoot all he wants. These guys, this Bruce Brown cat or whatever his first name is, play him. Let him do what he need to do. And just live with it. But this is a draft that's going to have some different pieces coming in, some different talent. We don't have any young talent from last year to really add to be in a situation such as Atlanta or the Sacramento Kings, with young pieces that are getting more young pieces. We just going to have the same nucleus. So, again, obviously, I can really get in my feelings on this thing. I really, Detroit basketball, one of the signature attributes of Detroit basketball is good defense, great team defense. And obviously, the way we're constructed right now, we just don't get that. We're not a talented offensive team. If we're not rebounding and not playing defense, and we don't have guys, he shot 41% from the field, which wasn't horrible. 38% from 3-point. But definitely, we gotta. There's no identity to the team. No tough guys on the team. With the exception of Griffin, who's just the guy was in pieces. So anyway, I made this longer than what I thought I was gonna be on here, but it's the end of the season. For Casey, a guy who won Coach of the Year and was unceremoniously let go. I think the day after receiving the award or the day before receiving the award. But to bring him in, I'm sure for him, maybe that bodes well for him that he put this team put this team together and led them to a playoff appearance. It shows that he's worth his salt. So, I guess we need to look at that as a plus. We have to see what he does with this first year, in the mix. What's his feedback on handling the draft? Can we go in there and pick out a a White or a Siakam? Can we? Derek White, I believe, is that the guy's name from the Spurs? Is there a player that we can get? From 25 or 22 to 30 or whatever? Can we draft a guy in there who is a diamond in the rough? We really need that type of fortune. We really do. But hey, I'm gonna get on off of here. Like I said, I just wanted to get in a reaction to it. Disappointing effort in an elimination game. This is the Pay Me No Mind Sports Entertainment channel. I'm the host, Wood, and I'm out, man. Have a good one.